What is up, everybody? Welcome to AK Plays. I'm AK. Let's play.
Damn!
Warning, an agent in your vicinity has gone rogue.
Jesus Christ.
Oh gosh, if you can't tell, I love Lone Star. That's just too fun. But alright, today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different video than what I've been doing the past couple days. The past couple days I've been doing more informative stuff, talking about update 1.8.3. This video is going to be a little bit more entertainment based. Obviously I'll talk a little bit about the patch and what's going on, but that's just kind of to be expected with the territory. Any new patch, you're going to get about a week of me talking about the patch. But basically, this video is going to have more to do with me and Slacks doing our best to go two-man in the DZ and see what we can do as a duo. This first clip, obviously, is a four-man group. Two of our teammates die kind of towards the beginning here, and then we carry on for a little bit as the two of us. But this is more just to show off the beauty of Lone Star. I've just been enjoying this build so much. It does so much damage, and it's so fun to use. And there's really nothing else that does that. I mean, Banshee can deal just as much damage with the correct procs up, but Banshee's way too conditional for me. I don't really like rogue hunting. I prefer to be rogue, and because you can dictate where the fight is, where the funnels are, you can move the server to where you want. It allows you a little more freedom. Rogue hunting, you're kind of just to the whim of whatever the rogues want to do. And I don't like that. I prefer to fight where I want to fight. So basically, I like Lone Star because it allows me to put out the most DPS. Obviously second to sniper builds like Deadeye and Hunter's Faith, but if you want to use a full auto, I'd say Lone Star is your best bet for max DPS. And it's a super rare build to see in the DZ, and so a lot of people are kind of going to underestimate you and run straight at you and get melted. But either way, I'm not going to be talking about Lone Star. Obviously, I'll do a whole Lone Star video at some point. I love doing this build, and I love making videos about it, so I'm sure you'll see more of those. But this one's going to be about me and Slacks. Not sure what he was running in this clip, but I know in the rest of the video, the two of us are just trying to fight off other two-mans, three-mans, four-man groups, and then occasionally we try to fight the server. And he's running a Hexo for the majority of the video, and I'm going to be running a variety of different builds. But the one issue that we've been running into, which I'm assuming any of you that are playing 1.8.3 a lot have noticed, is Pred is back. Now, I don't know about you guys, I know there's a lot of people that loved Pred, but I hate it with a burning passion of 1,000 suns. Now, Predmark, obviously, I'm not going to hate on it too much. You did take a nerf. I mean, there's counters. We can counter you now. But, so I'm not going to harp on it, but it is difficult to run against, especially when you're running low stamina builds and with no EDR. Also, since they nerfed the immunizers, most of us aren't going to be running immunizers anymore. And that they got rid of Striker's healing. Well, they didn't get rid of the healing completely, but they got rid of Striker's viability, and so you don't have the healing of Striker to fall back on. Pretty tough to counter Predmark. But we're trying our best, and we definitely still did very well in the DZ. I would say the way to counter that, for those of you that are wondering and want me to give a solution, I would say your counter is going to be Reclaimer. Unfortunately, a lot of Predmarks do run with Disruptors. My advice for that, have your Reclaimer pop the box, fall back to another location, and put a new box down. Usually Preds aren't going to run with skill haste, so that's your counter. Alright, next clip. This one, we ran up on these guys which are friends with me and Slacks. At least one of them is on our friends list. And so I waved at them and realized we can't be friends, I guess. Alright, snipe on Overwatch. Target procced. Clear to push the target. Target down. Hostile eliminated. Enemy down. Target procced. Target down. All right. Now this one is this is something else. But Deadeye, 2-man team, 2 lethal.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Monster kill.
Reach the indicated location and
Alright, so we opened that one up with me finishing off a guy that we killed. Unfortunately, the clip cut off at the beginning there. But this one is the lethality of D3 in this update. It is unbelievable. Now, right now we're running 2 D3 FNCs against a 4-man group that is running everything under the sun that a 4-man group would be running. They had Final Measure. I think we actually just killed the Final Measure. That was the guy that died at the beginning of the clip. But it was a Final Measure, and then they had DPS builds. Earlier on, they had a healer. They were switching everything up. But essentially, they were trying to fight me and Slacks, and we just came out with our D3s. The first time they got us when we came out with 2 DPS builds, I was running a hybrid, he was running Hexo. But so we switched to double D3 to see how it could work, and we were taking on this 4-man pretty handsomely for having 2 players using a D3. Being outnumbered and them having support builds at the beginning, it was pretty rough. And they end up popping ults during this fight, which is kind of sad when you have numbers against 2 D3s. But there it is. They pop Attack Link, and it actually does not do that much damage. When you're a D3, if you're built right, you can eat a ton of bullets. So essentially we do almost beat these 4. The clip becomes super duper long if I want to have the entire time when we beat them, but I didn't want to make this a 30-minute video. But eventually we do kill these manhunts, and then we come back and we decide to get our revenge. But we keep fighting with our D3s, and these guys just won't fight. They once they don't have the numbers anymore and it becomes a 2v2, they start falling back, hiding, running behind trucks. And I mean, that's to be expected. It's very difficult to run against a D3 when you have even numbers. D3s are very difficult to beat now that the Striker is gone. The only real counter is Tactician Sticky Bombs. I know other builds can do Sticky Bombs, but usually Tactician's most common. But without that, you're pretty out of luck if you're trying to fight a D3, unless you have numbers. Numbers do defeat D3s, and these guys, unfortunately, we're not playing it very well against the D3s, but obviously good for us. We get to kill more of them. But we do go on to kill all these guys, and then that's when you see what happens next.
One eternity later.
Now, here we are, about a decade in the future. So we start killing these guys, we go rogue, and attack them. Now that the fight is on our terms, we can use DPS builds, and we don't need to be locked into a checkpoint fighting with our D3s. And once we get to use our nomads, and I believe, I'm not sure what Slack does. He might have a nomad, he might have some sort of Hexo or hybrid on, but I'm not sure. Either way, we came out and we started giving these guys quite a punishing. And we do eventually drop our manhunt. I believe it becomes a rank 5, and then we eventually go clear it. But that basically, and then these guys, of course, again, this time they bring out shock turrets. Once that doesn't work, they are going to pop yet another Tac Link, and that one they will proc me with, but it isn't quite enough to put us down, and we do eventually beat them. I have no idea why I went and face tanked while he had a Tac Link up. That was a little unwise, but somehow we still win the fight, which is beyond me. Either way, it's just kind of to go to show that really being rogue and not being rogue, it's a huge difference. If someone's rogue on you, they can dictate where the fight takes place, the pacing of the fight, and a lot of the strategy. So being rogue is giving you a huge advantage, in my opinion. I know a lot of other people might think rogue hunting gives you more of an advantage, but I like being rogue. You can see that me and Slacks did an excellent job as duos today. I used D3, I used Nomad, I used Deadeye, and a little bit of Lone Star. So I tried out a bunch of different stuff, also tried out hybrids, but I'm going to probably put out a hybrid build video in the next couple days on some of the best ones that I found. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments.
Oh! Somebody! Oh! He needs some milk!